All right, guys, today's a big one. I suppose we should just get right into it. Who, whom, and whose. I'm talking about these relative pronouns today because I get the feeling that a lot of people still mix these up. Now, when I say a lot of people, I'm not just talking about people who are learning English as a second language. I'm talking about English people too. So if you're watching this and you're English, you should probably stay until the end to learn the difference, especially between who and whom. I've got my eye on you, okay? So, let's begin. Let's start with who, shall we? Now, when you are asking about who, it's because this person is the subject of the sentence. So normally when you're reading a sentence, you're going to see the word who with a conjugated verb, like who ate my crackers, or who is that, or who made this cake, who did that, who painted this, okay? The answer is going to be a subject, and so the question word is who. That was pretty easy, huh? But who am I to say that the rest of the words are going to be just as easy? Let's talk about whom. So, whom is used when the who in the sentence is an object and not a subject. So that means that when you see whom, you're probably going to see whom with a subject afterwards. So for example, in a question, whom was she speaking to? She is the subject. She was speaking to John. John is the whom of the question because he is an object. It's also common to see whom with a question with a preposition. Speaking to, for instance. I don't know whom they made the cake for. I wonder whom they bought a gift for. Okay? It's very, very common to see prepositions here because when you have an object, you do something for that object or to that object or with that object. Okay? This is when we use whom. Finally, let's talk about whose. Okay, lots of people confuse whose and whose with an apostrophe without the E. If we think about this particular whose with an apostrophe S, this is a shortened form of who is. Okay, so for example, in the question that we had before of who is that, we could say who's that with an apostrophe and an S. But this whose, the WHOSE whose, is used for possession. This is when the person refers to a thing owned by this who that we are asking about. So when you're reading this whose in its context, you're often going to see it with a noun because this noun belongs to the who, the person that we don't know. Whose car is parked here? I don't know whose it is. It is Emily's. Emily's car. Whose dog is this? That depends on whose bank account this is, right? It depends on the person to whom the bank account belongs. I could say to whom the bank account belongs or to whom the dog belongs. You can see that that's actually a very long way of saying that. So we use the word whose instead. Okay, are you ready for one of my Emily's English patented cool tricks? I think that this will be helpful for you. If you are not sure whether or not it is who or whom, my recommendation would be to answer the question with an imaginary person. So I always use Stacy as my imaginary person. Who made this cake? Stacy made the cake. Well, if Stacy is the answer to the question, she is also the subject of the sentence. Stacy made the cake. So, who is the correct answer? Because as we said before, who is used for subject only. However, who are you speaking with is a sentence, but is it right? If the response to the question is, I am speaking with Stacy, Stacy is the who that I'm asking about. But in this sentence, I am speaking with Stacy. Stacy is the object. So, who is wrong? It should actually be whom. Whom are you speaking with? It's a cool trick, right? Okay, we've been playing around for long enough. It's quiz time. Now I think would be a good opportunity to pause the video and see if you can guess which who you are going to need. Is it who, whom, or whose? Okay, let's go through the answers. Cat is this? He's absolutely adorable. Well, we know that this word goes with nouns and it is seemingly some form of possession. So I think the answer is whose. Whose cat is this? Whose can only go with nouns. Number 2, I wonder I'm going to work with this year. Well, we have 2 dog whistles for what this could be. We have a subject right after the gap, and we also have the word with. So I think that the person that we are working with is Stacy, and that means that Stacy is an object. So it must be whom. Forgive me for number 3, because it is, well, I am heavily influenced by a TV show that I'm watching at the moment. If you know the name of the TV show, go ahead and leave it in the comments. But for now, it doesn't matter. Is the diamond of the season. Now, Stacy is the diamond of the season. So Stacy is the subject, which means that the answer must be who? Who is the diamond of the season? Anyway, number 4. This looks like an expensive car. Car is this? Now you know that this question word that goes with a noun afterwards must be a possession-based question word, which means the answer is whose. Whose car is this? And finally, do you have a crush on? I have a crush on Anthony. Or Anthony. I don't know, I can't remember how they pronounce his name in the show. If you know, leave it in the comments. Can't remember. So, for this one, we have a subject immediately after, and we also have an answer to the question. Anthony is the response. Anthony is the who, but he is also the object of the sentence, which means that the question word must be whom. Whom. Okay? Very good, everybody. How many did you get right? I hope you got them all right. Now, I want to hit you with a little bit of a truth bomb here when it comes to this particular type of grammar. As I said at the beginning of the video, lots of English people suffer with this grammar topic because they just don't know the difference between who or whom. Whose is a different story, but it's very common to hear things like, who do you have a crush on? I wonder who I'm going to work with this year. For the sake of your exam, please try to use who and whom. But for the sake of fluency, speaking naturally, and having a conversation with other English-speaking people, try not to worry about the difference between who and whom. Okay? Because I can guarantee you that most of us are not paying attention, especially English natives. Thank you so much for joining today. Please give us a subscribe, give us a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you would like more content, more resources, and weekly live sessions, as well as daily challenges, please have a look in the description and consider signing up to our school. Right now, it is only $12 a month. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.